morning, good afternoon, good evening, no matter where you are in the world. Thank you so much for joining this week's edition of the talent show powered by TTEC, where TTEC is powered by our talent. So thank you so much for joining me from wherever you are in the globe. What I do want to ask you is to start sharing where you are in the globe in the comments down there in your LinkedIn live broadcast. Where are you watching from? I'm here in my home office here in Denver, Colorado. I work for, my name is Vicky Steer, and I'm this week's guest host. We normally have Jennifer Nelson as our host. I am the Executive Director of Global Talent Acquisition Marketing here at TTEC. So glad to welcome you here. What I'd love to see is be sure to share us where you're from. A little bit later today, we're going to be talking today from a couple of our talented teammates from Hyderabad, India. So I know that we've got individuals coming to us from around the globe. Thank you so much. I see Temple, Texas. I love Temple. Been there myself several times. And United Emirates in Arabia, in Saudi Arabia. So welcome, Jose. I'm so glad to have you. From Pennsylvania. Nice to see you. Export, not sure where that is. I've been to Pennsylvania a number of times. My daughter lived there for a little while. Love, hey, gotta go to Hershey, right? From Ahmedabad, love Ahmedabad, been there as well. Ahmedabad is in the state of Gujarat. So the home of, in Ahmedabad is the home of Gandhi. I was fortunate enough to be able to visit the Gandhi Museum. Quite an experience. If you ever have the chance to go to India, may not be on the main place that you would typically visit, but post-COVID, I hope to be going back. So thank you, Hardik. And we have, I see Prince from Hyderabad. Yes, from Hyderabad. I see Sai from Hyderabad. Welcome. I see Oregon. Nice to see you. And Phoenix. Hot this time of year. I know it's already here in March, but you're probably already close to seeing the 100-degree weather there. Alan from Greece, welcome. Amy from Dublin, welcome. Mido, or is it Mido from Poland? Again, I'm assuming that you're in Krakow. I love Krakow, beautiful city, such a historical landmark. So welcome everyone. I'd like to continue to see you joining. I see the at-home team. Welcome. This week's edition, we're going to be continuing our month-long celebration of Women's History Month, and I'm excited to be bringing you our guest today. The TTEC Technical in Hyderabad, India, recently celebrated its one-year anniversary and is steadily growing as a center of global excellence in attracting and engaging talented technical talent. Please join me as I'm going to be welcoming two of our global gifted teammates, Muntaz Vempalli and Susai Mari. Hello, Muntaz. Hello, Suzai. Welcome.
Hey, Vicky. Hello.
Nice to see you again. Let me ask a little bit more. So Muntaz, I understand that you are, I say that it's a little place in my heart. You help us drive paychecks. I love it. Tell me, I know I'm oversimplifying it, but you are one of our HRMS specialists. So can you tell me a little bit more about your role and how you started with TTEC?
Yeah. So thanks for having me today, Vicky. So before I talk about what I do at TTEC, I just wanted to say about myself. I have two adorable daughters and a loving husband who always supports me. And as you said, yes, we are just 1 year old at Hyderabad. So even for me, it's, like I'm associated with TTEC for almost a year. So here I'm working as a payroll principal analyst, and I'm leading the IT payroll support team. So as you said, my primary job is to make sure that, the payments across multiple countries are happening on time. So we are primarily assisting the business users to make sure that the payroll processes are done smoothly. Yeah. So that's about me in short at TTEC.
Okay, and Susai, you have a team of people that support all of our technical needs across the company. And can you tell me a little bit more about your role and how you joined TTEC?
Well, I joined TTEC in June of 2020, so it's not been a year with, and I of the role is to support
Sounds like we're having a
across
bit.
the world, and it's good.
Okay, sounds like we're having a bit of technical difficulties with Susai. You know, part of our work at home platform today is occasionally we have internet issues. So, but let's go back to Muntaz for just a moment, and hopefully we'll get Susai a little bit more internet stable. So, Susai, can you tell me can you tell me a little bit more about your experience, especially as a woman with TTAC? You mentioned that you had the benefit of watching or hearing from our CEO, you know, when we first opened Hyderabad. Can you tell me about that and what you experienced there?
Vicky, was that to Suzai or?
I'm sorry, I said to Muntaz.
Yeah. So because you mentioned Suzai, so that's what I was.
I
Yeah.
apologize. I meant to talk about.
That's okay. Yeah. So yeah. So since then we like I'm very much excited, especially the way that they're expecting women at work. And the other important thing that I like to mention is the flexible work hours that we get to use here. So with this flexible work arrangements, we don't have to compromise on our personal and professional work life. So we can have both balanced. We don't have to toss one to make sure that the other is on the good side. So we are balancing both the personal and professional lives equally. And the other day when we talked with our CEO, he did mention that TTEC's goal is to have 50% of women employees at work. So, which is a great thing, and I'm very proud to be part of such an organization where it wants 50% of the women employees at work. And this shows clearly how much TTEC is encouraging women to be part of their success stories. I have not seen in any organization where it really willing to take 50% of women employees at work. Yeah, so this is one of the greatest thing that I feel, which no other organization is doing other than TTEC.
And in our technical hub, my understanding is we actually have exceeded that goal. So we have, in a country where, now I have to admit, India itself has been more progressive than the U.S. in many ways. In that you had a woman prime minister back in the 80s, which is not the case in other places in the globe, but we appreciate that. And can you, can I go back to Suzai for just a minute and see if we can get her internet? Suzai, are you there? Suzai?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Yes, much better, much better. So Suzai, can I ask you to reshare, if you will, about your career at TTEC and what you do?
Well, at TTEC, I'm a supervisor with the help desk, and we assist clients all across the globe. And it has been a beautiful journey so far with TTEC.
So you have, and you started in June of last year, right in the middle of the pandemic. But you also have one of the most high performing teams doing what you do. You have a
Yes.
team called ASD that supports individuals that are onboarding as well. And, with the thousands, I mean, we hired over 20,000 people in the US last year for work at home. And you help support some of that. So can you give us a little bit of your secret to your success and your team's success? Because you do have a very high performing team. So give us a little insight into that secret to your success.
Well, it has to do more with the commitment that the entire team has shown over the past so many months. So when we started off in Hyderabad, it was, yes, definitely a phase where we had back-to-back calls, and we had so much going on, and uh, and every person, each and every member of the team had shown an 100% dedication, or more, I should say, and a lot of teamwork, put together. That's that's the reason why we are where we are.
And let me just share. Teamwork is, I often find that high performing team supervisors have that humbleness that you just shared, but it doesn't just happen. I mean, it is fostered. So thank you so much for that.
You're
Also
welcome.
want to just share a little bit of a personal there. So not only is Susai a COVID survivor, but I call her a COVID thriver. So, Suzai, you started in June of last year, and then you contracted COVID yourself in what, September? Can you tell us a
Yes.
little bit about, that and how your team helped support you through that, that time and how you've just come back even stronger?
Well, Vicky, I've joined TTEC as a temporary. I was just there uh, during my temp with TTEC, and that's when I was tested positive on the 18th of September, and it was a real tough time, wherein the doctors did mention that I have only 5 days to live. So it was a very tough journey, and I thank God because I have lived it through. I thank my family, and I would definitely like to thank the management of TTEC and all the leaders that supported me. So you can name SN, Ravi, Raghu, uh, Chunky, Romel, Romel, Jen, all these are the counterparts from Philippines. So they are the leaders and managers there, and they had been in contact, constant touch with me. So they really supported me, and my own team on everything, on how I've been, give motivation and that support, and telling me that not to worry, this is just a phase, you will get over it, and that really helped me a lot. They were a
Well,
strength, they strengthened me all through the week time.
thank you so much. Not only is it not just 5 days later, but here we are 5 months later. So we're so glad to have you with us today. One last thing I'm going to ask each of you is before we move on today is I know every one of us sometime in our career have found someone that has been a mentor to us, whether it be a formal mentor relationship or it's just somebody that gave you a piece of advice that stuck with you. Muntaz, is there a piece of advice that has just stuck with you through your career that you'd like to share and maybe pass on to this group here today?
Yeah, definitely, Vicky. The one thing that always sticks in my mind that I received from my peers is be transparent at your work. So when you're transparent, it helps you out to analyze the exact impact of the issues that you're working on. And always don't retain the knowledge to yourself. So share it with the team so that it helps you to bring the good quality out of it. And there is a saying that I believe in, the more you share, the more you get. So you better be on the good side by sharing the knowledge that you have gained.
That's awesome. Someone called it to
Yeah.
me once, giver's gain. And I think of that all the time. So just what you just said, it's the exact same concept. How about you,
Yeah.
Susai? What is that one piece of advice that you received maybe from a previous supervisor or coworker that just has stuck with you and stayed throughout that you'd like to share today?
It was more on the lines of teamwork, as I mentioned earlier, right? So it has to do more with the team, right? It has to do more with making things there. The show must go on, whether you are in the show or not. So that really got me into being where I am today, because irrespective of whether or not they're still woman, right? So that's where that is what was told by one of my previous mentors, right? So I would like to, I had that stuck in my mind for over many years, trying to implement it.
Yeah, so team absolutely is. It's not just 1+1 =2. It's 1+1 =7 sometimes. That sometimes that one person, and oftentimes especially those individuals that might be more introverted sometimes forget to ask their teams or forget to ask for help, and it's not a sign of weakness. It's actually a sign of strength to say I need you. So thank you once again, Muntaz and Susai, for sharing your inspiring stories today. I would like to just wish you well, and here's to 10 more years in Hyderabad. So thank you.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you so much for that, Vicky.
as per usual, now we're going to move on to our section of and please, if you have for all the viewers out there, if you have other advice that has stuck with you in your careers, please do add it into the comments today and share it with others. Now I'm going to go in and actually do a bit of sharing today about, and I would like to share our hot jobs for today. So our hot jobs, because we just talked about Hyderabad, India, I want to bring you over to our Hyderabad positions. We're actually hiring quite a few, both technical and some non-technical positions as well. You can certainly, as always, go to TTEC Jobs, that's TTECjobs.com, click in the search button, just click on Hyderabad, or you can type in a keyword, etc., and search our jobs throughout. Here's Hyderabad, India. You can search through and see our current job listings that are here. We have a little map at the top. For those of you that don't know, here's where Hyderabad is located. Here's some of our jobs that are here. Our featured job today is a system software developer, where we are actually both developing a number of bots. Bots are the new rage, if you will, but there's so many applications for bots in the customer experience, and TTAC is about the customer experience. So in this role, you will need a minimum of 3 years of experience in RPA tools, a master level certification in automation anywhere, and being an engineering graduate with experience in either programming of .NET or Java. You can simply, like I said, go to ttechjobs.com, click on TTEC, search on the careers, and you can apply right here. Now, the second featured job for today, I'm going to come back across the Pacific Ocean, and we're going to talk about work from home. As I mentioned earlier, last year alone, TTAC hired more than 20,000 employees to work in a direct customer experience in our North American locations. So we do have a separate tab. When you go to ttechjobs.com, you can click on work from home and see certainly, what's it like to work from home. Here's our 50,000 employees. Here's some of their stories that you can understand how they have lived and worked. Because work at home is not just about the location, it's about the lifestyle. Now, I do want to share today our work at home opportunities in Canada. So I'm just going to type in Canada, and you'll see here, you can click on Canada, and you'll see all of the available jobs that are either a remote or a work from home. What we call the difference is the remote positions tend to be those that are listed as more of the professional analyst type of roles, management type of roles, but you can scroll down and see all of our work from home ones. You'll want to come to this one, customer service, work from home in Canada. I would also share that we have a couple of bilingual positions open today in Canada, Portuguese English, French English. So if you speak a couple of languages, this is for you. Come check it out. But our English one, if you click on the customer service work from home and click on the job there, you'll see more about the requirements and those types of things. With work at home, I want to share we have some extra little features here. There's a lot of FAQs here that you might want to check out on the left, as well as our little journey. You guys may see Louis show up in many of our marketing materials and talk about who he is. Louis is our bot, and you'll see him down here on the right. If you need help, you can always reach out to Louis. But Louis shares a story of Amy about work from home. So please do check out that fun little story about Louis sharing his experiences with Amy. Again, here is our work at home. We are hiring for work at home English in six provinces in Canada: British Columbia, New Brunswick, Newfoundland and Labrador, Nova Scotia, Prince Edward Island, and Quebec. If you live in one of those provinces, please do apply. We are also hiring Portuguese, also in those 6 provinces, plus also in Ontario. Please know that for this job, you will need high-speed internet. You have more opportunities if you're able to have your computer pass, but we do have opportunities where we provide the equipment as well. So please do not let that stop you. So thank you once again. Want to go back, if you will, and just share a little bit. I mean, honestly, that is the end of today's show. I just want to thank you once again for joining us for the talent show powered by TTEC, where, of course, TTEC is powered by our talent. And we will see you again in 2 weeks at noon Eastern, Thursday, March. Forgive me, I have just lost the date. I think it's actually April 1st. I was missing a day. It is April 1st, so we'll see you on April Fool's Day in 2 weeks. Thank you so much for joining us here at TTEC.